All right, got a funny trucker moment to share with you. Trucker moment I've only had with Barr Nunn. I know I look a little rough. I'm about to go in and shave, take a shower and stuff, but just wanted to share this. In the last couple of months, I had the recruiter from my first job, Wilson Logistics, try to get me to come back to Wilson Logistics. And then just yesterday, I had my fleet manager, my former fleet manager at US Xpress, call me up and try to get me to come back. And the biggest reason I left US Xpress is because to go from 57 cents a mile to 67 cents a mile, which is what I'm making now, and also the fact that a month into me working for US Xpress, they got rid of the split break option. And if you're a trucker, you know what that means, and that just made the job really difficult. And so Barr Nunn has split breaks. So she called me up yesterday while I was running a load from Atlanta to Tampa, Florida. And she's like, how you doing? Everything's going good. You still like it there, or do you want to come back? And I said, well, Barr Nunn has split brakes. And they treat me good, and I'm making more money. And I explained to her that there's no way I'd come back to US Xpress because, Barr Nunn takes such good care of their equipment. I'm rarely ever in the shop in comparison to US Xpress. I was in the shop all the freaking time. And then I reminded her that the day I was assigned to a truck at the end of orientation with US Xpress, the truck was in the shop for 2 to 3 days because it was in such bad condition. And then I proceeded to remind her of all the times that I was broke down because of the crappy trailers that US Xpress has. And but I was nice to her because despite how US Xpress did me like that, my fleet manager was really good, and she's a good fleet manager, so she understood. I got the phone, and it just so happens, as soon as I got the phone, I had one of those loads where so much of my drive time is eaten up due to trying to get out of Atlanta because of Atlanta traffic that I was going to end up with like an hour left on my clock in the middle of the night in Tampa, Florida, where it sucks even during the day to try to find parking. So I ended up using a split break to save my load, and where I did what's called a 7-3 split, and I ended up still with an hour left of drive time to find somewhere to park after delivery, but I bobtailed out of there and was looking for a place to park at 5 in the morning instead of in the middle of the night, and so I was able to get a place to park, no problem. So so there you go. Don't work for a company. Don't drive for a company if they don't let you do split brakes, because it solves so many problems on the road. But anyway, I had 2 other recruiters from 2 other companies, Hirschbach and another trucker company in Texas, I forgot what it's called already, trying to recruit me. And this has been this is a regular basis thing now of recruiters randomly contacting me trying to recruit me. I think it's probably because I recently just passed a year of experience. And I'm kind of at a point where it's no longer a stressful thing to be a trucker as much as it's like I'm at a point now in my skill level where I'm just having a good time. So so it just goes to show just how high in demand truckers are. And I've never had this experience when I was a welder for 13 years before getting into the trucking trade. So the only other person I've ever heard had this type of experience was my mom growing up, because she was a nurse. She's a retired registered nurse now, and she never had to worry about getting a job because of how high in demand nurses are. So so if you're looking for a trade that'll get you going, if COVID 2.0 happens, become a trucker.